Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Awashai Bashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners, and to the Akwaf that are listening and learning. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone in Chicago here, coming at you with another lesson. And this lesson is going to be called The Controversy of Zion. And I got a quick insert from a clip from a video that Capo put up earlier. And it's just a quick couple seconds of a Professor Tudor Parfitt, all right, speaking about how the so-called Africans, whether they were in Africa, America, Timbuktu, Europe, wherever they were scattered, that they are indeed the Jews, the originals of the Bible. So, and that they're directly, related to who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And we're just, in the last moments of the last days where the truth is going to come out one way or another. So, without any further ado, Professor Tudor Parfitt.
Through this strategy, black Jews, whether they be in America or whether they be in Africa or whether they be in Papua New Guinea, they automatically enter directly into the annals of Western sacred history. They are part of the original players. They are relatives of Jesus, the patriarchs, the prophets, the saints. And it's a wonderful kind of liberation from the trauma of the African condition since the beginning of slavery.
So the African conditioning. So to be conditioned to be called in Africa. Remember, Africa is named for the namesake of a white man named Scipio Africanus. His brother's name was Scipio Asiaticus. So Asia Major, Asia Minor, Africa. For these people run around calling themselves a black Asiatic man. All right. And you have to understand too that all skin folk ain't kin folk. The whole world was dark flesh like so-called black people, but they weren't all the same people. All right, that's one thing that a lot of these pro-African people can't seem to get into their thick skulls or want to accept that brutal truth. All right, all skin folk ain't kin folk. All right, but the man's name was Professor Parfitt, professor of modern Jewish studies on black Jews of Africa and how their descendants are the ancient Israelites. All right, that's the topic that he speaks about the most, and you could actually find him on YouTube and on the internet, and he has lots of lots of different functions where he's lecturing in great halls before all these highly educated people and college students and everything. So this truth is known, but now it's mainstream. All right, so there's going to be a lot of answering of the people. All right, so let me grab Hosea 1:10. I'll probably start with that and finish with it. But this is the book of Hosea, the first chapter, the 10th and 11th verse. And it reads, "Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered." And the reason being, when you're looking up the 12 tribe charts, which consists of Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and once you add in the scattered elect that are among all the heathens, it's impossible to number us. All right, we are beyond a shadow of a doubt the largest race of people on the face of the earth. There's a lot of people that look like the heathens that are Israelites and don't even know it. Typically the ones that have rhythm, flavor, and salt. All right, because no other people have that but us. All right, period. All right, we truly are the salt of the earth. The creative juices, the physical thing, the physicalities, the different things that we can do physically, in sports and in dance and whatever it is that we do, we dominate. All right, but it says, "Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. So for generations now, we've been called by bywords, just as the curse has said we would. The byword is when you're called a Mexican or a Latino or a Native American, a Negro, a black, or the worst, or the nasty bywords, a nigger, a spick, a beaner, a savage. That's what Indian means, by the way. It means savage. So every time you call someone an Indian, you're calling them a savage. All right, when the real savages are these people right here, like Mr. Wicker here. Those are the real. Then this witch with a damn warlock with that top hat and that broom. All right, those are the real savages right there. All right, verse 11. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel, meaning Judah being the Negroes, West Indies, and the Haitians, and the children of Israel being the so-called Latinos and the Native Americans, be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel, Yazara'Allah. All right, and that is something that is taking place now, with the Ezekiel 37 chapter, with the one stick, the northern kingdom coming back to be joined into the southern kingdom. All right. But yes, the Negroes, rather African or rather in Africa or in America or in the islands, are direct descendants of Yahweh Shai, the saints and the patriarchs that you read about in the Bible. All right, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, direct blood descendants of the same waters, the same sperm line. Also proving that your race is through your father's seed line. So it's not about a color thing, because remember that seed got scattered among all people. All right, that's the point which I can't push enough. This is Isaiah 34, which you can read. I mean, you can read that whole chapter, because it breaks down a lot of things. But Isaiah 34:8, it reads, "For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion." So there, since the truth was brought back into the world through Abba Bibbins, and the awakening of the southern kingdom, and now this northern kingdom being joined unto them, there's been a controversy over who the Jews are, who the Israelites are, and they've tried to put up videos and commentary which would fail miserably, because once you tell one lie, you got to continue to tell more lies, and their lies have failed them. The truth stands on its own. Because it's the 12 tribes of Israel, not the 12 tribes of Jewish. Okay, and we can continually ask them, where are the other 11 tribes, and where are the relics of you going into slavery with yokes of iron and fetters of iron, on your around your necks, as the curses said you would. All right. But that's a matter of fact. Let me go back up to Isaiah 34. I'm gonna start at verse 1, and it reads, "Come near, ye nations, hear and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury is upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter." So this is when Israel gets restored. So that tells you Israel has not been restored yet. This is a future prophecy. They have not been restored to that land yet. And it also proves that the Idumeans, the Edomites, who are the so-called white people, all right, collectively, except for those who are of another race and just happen to have that color flesh. Remember, it's not about color. It's about bloodline, about sperm lines. Okay. It proves that they're still here, because the Christian doctrine, and one of the ways to cover up the Hebrew Israelite heritage, is the claim that the Edomites are done away with, when the Edomites are the ruling class people and will be ruling upon the return of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right, verse 3. "Their slain shall also be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood." So, meaning all the country. So all the armies of the earth haven't been destroyed. that means that the Israelites are still scattered. All right. That means that the imposters, which this is about to prophesy, are still in the land of Israel. Okay. The prophecy was that there will be a people who would appoint the land to themselves and surname themselves, Jacob, and that has happened. Okay, you have imposters in that land. Verse 4, and the host of heaven shall be dissolved. And remember, mountains represent countries and power structures, governments. Okay, and heaven represents rulership. All right, sometimes it's literally heaven, and sometimes it's talking about rulership. And it says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as the falling of the fig from the fig tree. All right, so that's when the missiles that are going to fly from one end of the earth to the other and destroy Babylon the Great, aka Egypt, aka Rome, which is America. All right, verse 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, and behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom, which they tried to hide by putting Idumea in here and not just saying Edom. And you find in the books, and as a matter of fact, in the 1971 Jewish Almanac, it clearly states that the modern day Jewry is Edom. It also said that in the 1905 Jewish Encyclopedia on page on page 105, if I'm not mistaken. But in the 1905 Jewish Encyclopedia says the same thing. Modern day Jewry is Edom. So these Edomites have been masquerading as being, and they are Hebrew because they're from Jacob's brother Esau. Esau is a Hebrew as well. Okay, it's not just, remember, there are 8 different sets of Hebrew people, but there's only one who is the chosen. Remember that. And if you have understanding, you can read that and figure out who they are when you read about the sons of Shem. The sons of Shem, that came out of him, which Abraham came out of that line. But Abraham's line became the chosen line through his son Isaac, not his other. Because you got to remember, Abraham had several other sons who were all Hebrew, right? But it's not through them. Ishmael, Ammon, Moab, and all those. They're not it. Okay. Or those Abraham's sons that he had with Keturah. I believe he had 6 sons with Keturah. He had Isaac with Sarah, who's the chosen line. Then he had Ishmael first, all right. But the birthright, the promises of the kingdom of heaven went to Isaac. Okay. And so and then he had 6 sons with Keturah. They, they really don't matter. Okay. But back here to verse 5, Isaiah 34:5, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. So the Idumeans, the Edomites, the so-called white people, are the cursed people of the Lord. And the actual white people that are actually Edomites, okay? Because all white people aren't Edomites. Some of them are Israelites in other nations because of all the mixing, the scattering of all the different people, over these last couple millennium. Okay? Verse 6, the sword of Yahweh is filled with the blood. It is made fat with the fatness, with the blood of lambs and goats, and with the fatness of kidneys around. For the Lord have a sacrifice in Basra, and in a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. So Basra meaning any place where Edom lays, any place they have cities and strongholds, that's Basra. And the Lord is coming back for these people. All right, so all this going out and partying and sitting down outside, enjoying the cafes and the outdoor bar, all that's coming to an end, man. All right, the Lord's getting ready to strike this place down with a great destruction. Okay, and then that guy said, what did he said? He said in I'm talking the guy, meaning the professor Parfitt. He said that the negative African conditioning from slavery, all right, it's been very liberating from the trauma and negative conditioning from slavery, and it has been for those who have bonded onto this truth, that accept this truth and hold on to this truth. All right. So But yeah, I could keep going on. There's so many more scriptures, but this didn't need to be a long lesson. The point has been made. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, all honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Lukaha Kadash, Wa Abba Babal. Shalom, Kwam Yasharallah.